Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. It has been a while, and as you can tell by the title of this video, things are going to change from now on. So yes, it has been over a month since I have last posted a video. Well, I posted one as today, as of recording this, but before that it was a month. And really that was for several reasons. So the first week I just started uni and it kind of just completely threw off my schedule. The 2 weeks after that, I then had a migraine, so that was great. I couldn't really concentrate enough to record a video during those 2 weeks. Since then I've been back at uni, but to be honest, I haven't had the motivation to record since having my migraine. So yeah, that's a bit of a thing. But I'm not going to promise I'm coming back, to be honest, because things are still all over the place. I think I have a migraine starting up again today, but that could just be nothing. And obviously I still have a bunch of uni work. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to deal with, and I'll have to sort of figure out how the channel continues in terms of scheduling things from now on. So that's not really the major thing I actually wanted to talk about in this video, and the reason I'm making this video mostly is actually because I want to change how this channel is going to work. So there's two sort of topics I want to discuss here. The first one is the modding tutorials, and the second one is the chance of doing something different, but we'll start with the modding tutorials. So as you can see, today I posted a Java tutorial, not a modding tutorial, which I'm sure has maybe confused some of you. Thursdays is normally when I post modding tutorials, Thursdays and Tuesdays, but I have decided I'm going to stop making modding tutorials temporarily. I want to finish the Java tutorial series, get that over and done with basically, and then I will continue with the modding tutorials. At that point it will probably be 1.20 as well, so 1.20 is going to be complete rewrites for most mods, at least from what I can hear. So yeah, that'll be a really interesting thing to deal with, and I think it's just for the best. I want to do the Java tutorials first because, needless to say, I say it all the time, but I'm going to say it again, you need to know Java before modding. It's not a matter of whether you want to or not. If you want to make a mod that is, coded, you need to learn Java. It's a requirement. Some people will tell you it's not, and to a degree you could, in theory, do it without Java, but it's just going to take you about 8 times longer if you don't learn Java, realistically. And you're going to have so many silly little problems, it's not worth the effort. So yes, I am going to be doing the Java tutorials until I feel we're at a stage where modding could continue. So in terms of when that will be, I don't really want to give any dates for anything because, as I said at the start, I'm not sure how things are going to go, but maybe January time. That's sort of roughly what I'm aiming for. So not too long, really. That's only 2 months, 3 months. So that's not bad. And yes, in that time, I am recommending that anyone who hasn't learnt Java stops modding. Now, I know that's going to sound not great, and I know a lot of you aren't going to be happy about that, because you want to make a mod, and I get it. I completely understand. When I started, I was exactly the same. And when I started, I didn't learn Java for 3-4 months. My first 3 or 4 months of modding, I didn't learn Java. I just tried to jump straight into it without any experience. Well, I knew Python, but that's irrelevant because Python's dumb. But you know, I jumped into it with basically no experience, and it was really hard. It was, yeah, it was terrible, to be honest. Granted, that was 1.12, which is very different from nowadays, but nowadays even more so. It's going to be harder. Nowadays we have to use lambdas, and all of these advanced features which didn't exist back then. All of the Minecraft code and Forge code has changed a lot, so things are a lot trickier now than they used to be. So even though I used to find it hard, you know, it's going to be way harder for you to do it at the moment. So yeah, that's why I'm recommending it. It's not just because I don't want people to mod, of course. I want people to mod. People make great mods. Obviously, some people make terrible mods, but it is what it is. You get that with everything. But there are some really nice mods which I have seen come out of this community, out of our community, for example, and obviously other communities too. There are some great mods that do come out of it. Some big mods as well. I can't think of any names off the top of my head, so don't ask. So, yeah. Let's think. Other than that, yes, I wanted to talk also about a potential change or a potential stop. So, I was kind of thinking, I've been doing modding tutorials for a long time. And obviously recently I've started the Java tutorial series as well. I've kind of had the idea of stopping modding tutorials. Now I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm not just gonna stop doing modding tutorials. Obviously, I do quite enjoy doing modding tutorials. Otherwise, I wouldn't make them. But I have had the idea. It's purely an idea of stopping them. And I'm going to try and explain my reasons first before you all jump to the comments. So, I've sort of talked about this in the past. I have claimed that I will completely stop and then proceeded to continue because I enjoy it. It's fun. It does get a little, you know, it burns me out quite easily, but it is fun. Besides that, so the real reason I kind of want to stop modding tutorials is because I just don't think they're needed anymore. I think back in the day there was no documentation, there was nothing, there was no Discord servers, there was no forums, there was no existing tutorials. It just made sense to make modding tutorials because there was nothing else. So that's what you had to do. But nowadays, you know, there's hundreds of open source GitHub projects. There are loads of text tutorials. I'll link a few in the description, if I remember, that is, which I probably won't, but we'll hope that I do remember to do that. And obviously there are already all of the video tutorials, most of which will still be applicable to future versions, somewhat. Small changes. So, yeah, I mean, even in recent versions, 1.14 plus, the tutorials have basically been the same, just duplicates of each other with slight name changes here and there. You know, for example, we've been using deferred registers since 1.15 now, so that's, you know, 4 versions there of the exact same item registry, the exact same block registry, and a few other things as well. So it's a matter of, do they need to happen? And also there are other channels. There's Corp Joe's channel, which is really good, and he obviously uploads at a really good rate as well, unlike me at the moment anyways. So yeah, it's just a matter of, is it needed? And I'm going to leave that up to you guys for the most part. I am going to leave a straw poll, I guess, or a Google forum or something in the description of what you think. In terms of other ideas, because obviously if I stop modding tutorials, I have to have something else to do. I guess I don't have to, but I would like to do something else to replace it. So I have had a few other ideas. So obviously the obvious one, which some of you may have already thought of, is devlogs. So I think that'd be quite a fun thing to do, really. I could do devlogs for Turdy Chemistry. I could do devlogs for, I don't know, Railroad. I've actually kind of already recorded some devlogs for Railroad, but Railroad's kind of stopped temporarily. So if you don't know what Railroad is, it's just a modding IDE I've been working on. I could make devlogs for Brass even. So if you don't know what Brass is, that's a mod loader and API that I am working on. Just as a fun project, just so everyone knows that is not a serious thing. It's just a fun project. I could make devlogs on TurdyBot even, which is my Discord bot. That would be quite interesting, I suppose. I don't think there are any existing devlogs on Discord bots, so this is where I need your guys' input. I'm not sure exactly what you guys want to see, and also I could obviously do these as well as modding tutorials. It might be a little hard to fit it in, so I might have to tune down the modding tutorials a little bit, or tune down whatever else is going on, but I could fit it in realistically. And you could do other things too. For example, I've had the idea of doing Discord bot tutorials for quite some time. I haven't really had the chance to jump into it yet, but that sounds like quite a good thing to do, really. I know there obviously are already hundreds of those, but none of them are really up to standards. And I'm not going to say that I am the best. Of course, I'm not the best, but I think I could potentially get them to a little bit of a better standard than they are already, because at the moment they're a bit of a mess. So yeah, that's the thing. Or I could do other things. So another example is JavaFX tutorials. I've also recorded some of those. I did that months ago, and I haven't really touched them since then. But that is completely an option, and I think a lot of people would be interested in that. So if you don't know what JavaFX is, it is a GUI framework for Java, and it's basically the best one out. Well, it is the best one out there. Swing, you've got Swing, of course. That's what everyone learns. But Swing is terrible. It's really, really bad performance, and it's just bad, straight up bad. You can't really style it. I mean, you can, but not really. Yeah, it's just horrible. JavaFX is the newer version of Swing, basically. It actually used to be part of Java. It's not anymore, but it used to be. So yeah, I could do that. Or I could do other things. So there are tons of other things. I'm not going to list everything I could do, but those are sort of some of the ideas I've had. And yeah, as I said many times already, I'm going to leave that decision mostly up to you guys. Obviously, I am going to have some input in it, but I want to know what you guys think, what your guys' opinions are. If you think it's a terrible idea, then let me know. If you think it's a great idea, then let me know. It's a very useful thing to get some opinions on. Other than that, I did want to say my Discord server is still around. It's still going about, and yeah, that will still be obviously open and running whilst I pause the modding tutorials. So if you do need modding help, that will still be there. linked in the description, of course. And yeah, as long as you do have a decent understanding of Java, that's still a fine place for you to come. But if you do not know Java, then I won't guarantee you'll get help there, because we kind of have this, I don't want to say rule, even though it kind of is a rule, but we kind of have a rule where you need to know Java, otherwise we just won't help you, because I think that really makes the most sense. Because Java, as I said at the beginning, it's a requirement essentially. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling on, because yeah, this is way longer than I intended to ramble on for. So yeah, decisions are mostly up to you guys, so I would love to see your input. And yeah, modding tutorials are going to stop until I have done the Java tutorial series. They're not stopping permanently, or at least not for now. I'll have to decide on that. But yeah, Java tutorials are going to be hopefully coming out maybe twice a week, every week, maybe 4 times a week, every week. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try and stick to a schedule, because I don't think with uni, I don't think I'll be able to meet any schedules at the moment. Maybe come Christmas time things might change, and that would be great, but for now, yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna release videos when I think is suited, which is basically what I used to do, and yeah, that will all work out okay. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video useful. Obviously, it's just an update on what's happened. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been very confused where the videos have been. I've had a lot of questions about that, and hopefully this video has informed you. And I hope you guys can, give me input on the future of the channel. That would be great to know about as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.